Last week we assaulted the airfield up north.
Radio check.
Damn it, don't switch my things. If you got the option, please close
What's
presentation.
up?
Thank you. Assaulted the airfield up north and caused extensive casualties on the VVD Tula division. We acquired 4 MELV assets. We supported the Balaki efforts to liberate villages throughout the southwest. I've marked the current progress on the map as a series of green circles, essentially. Basically, what we're going to be doing today is assaulting head-on the Dayr Hafir area, while also simultaneously creating a diversion for blocky efforts further to the west along the coast and some smaller villages to hopefully liberate those as well. The key points here, basically last week upon come back, there we go. Upon liberating the said airfield, the issue remains that the airfield is between 2 very large objectives.
User left your channel.
Large concentrations of Russian forces, so we're unable to extend our front really and utilize that airfield to any capacity or even return it as promised to Balak hands. We're going to remedy this situation by attacking Dayr Hafir. The siege is basically going to concentrate on the probable location of heavy artillery that we've been encountering ever since we landed on the southern airbase island. The city has become heavily occupied, forcing a bunch of refugees to migrate to the south here.
User joined your channel.
Also notes of possible SAM
User joined your channel.
For to locate rocket location for the CIA and actually clear that out. It's actually going to free up some airspace on the eastern side of the Arabian Sea. Also, key Russian HQ on site for the South Rayek search. So they essentially had to retreat with our recent assault of Jabala. Back to Dayr Hafir, and have established something of a temporary HQ at that position. The Phase 1 objectives for this operation are going to be the convoy to 070158 and clear the villages of Al-Qam and Talkaif on the south side of the river. Establish mortar positions on that side of the river, and secure the bridge crossing to 075161. The initial push will be direct north, probably about 400 meters, to push to the HQ location 076165 and collect intel there. Phase 2 is going to be east to west sweep with appropriate supports. And by that, I mean, think back to, for those who attended training on the mounted infantry. Please think about the movements of the vehicles in those different sorts of circumstances, different probabilities of contact. If you have a mix of infantry with vehicles, of course, in the armored universe, got to stay very careful that you don't get too close because you will go under the wheels. At the same time, remember, put your infantry ahead of that armor if there's a very probable armor threat, anti-tank mines, or anti-tank teams in the area. Put your armor ahead of the infantry if there is, of course, opposing armor or other heavy static installations, and utilize those vehicles as cover. There is some repair functionality in ACE now. How well it works, you'll just have to see. But at the same time, take care with your vehicles. Treat them like your babies, because if they blow up, if they get disabled, that's it. And we got a lot of delays in our operation if we have to sling you around on little birds.
Any additional tools we need for that?
I believe just a basic toolkit, and preferably somebody in the engineer slot. I think that would give you the most love, but I think there's some settings we'll have to revisit and stuff for next week. If push comes to shove and stuff, Zeus may or may not have mercy on your soul.
But he won't, right? Because his Zeus doesn't love us.
Not who you are.
Usually not.
Well,
Some key points within the town are going to be the Presidential Palace at 074162. Essentially sort of a capital city structure. We just want to make sure to clear it, make sure that there's no high value captives or anything or intel at that position as we start moving through. Also, the mosque on the far western side, 070164. Again, check for high-value captives and intel. Eliminate all MSV, VDV presence, and defend it. Major avenues are going to be reinforcements from Al-Tabqa. Since we don't have the airfield in check, they may roll in from the west. They may roll in from the northeast. There's a small base near Ashraf RE. So, keep those vectors secure if you're putting on a defensive detail in the path. We also want to locate and destroy enemy anti-air, be it the SAM site, or be it any sort of, shulkas, armors, manpads, shit in the area. And other artillery. Again, we're looking for those 150 millimeter artillery pieces. Can't remember the designation off the top of my head, but you'll know them when you see them. They got big old barrels. And that is basically it. Go ahead and take a look at the map. Convoys will depart the forward FOB here and travel northwest via Nabain and kind of wing it back down towards Hamrat in the very far west. So you got a little bit of a drive. The most direct approach really is going to be the one that's going to bring you up south of those smaller villages, going to put you in the shadow of those villages for the city, so some cover onto positions where you'll be able to either take the city head on in sort of attrition approach using a mortar, but then also allows you to sidestep to that bridge crossing. Otherwise, it's a very, very, very scenic route far to the northeast. For the most part, expect very little resistance on the travel up, but at the same time, practice good protocol. Keep your guns, main guns and stuff on all these vehicles pointed in intelligent directions. Make sure that you're covered front and behind. Probability of IEDs is there, but mostly it's going to be IED elements or pieces that were placed by civilian forces against the Russians. We just want to make sure that we don't step on them ourselves.
User joined your
accidentally.
channel.
At the same time, Russians might have, mined the hell out of the river crossing as well. Basically on the map as well, there's also a factory location, very far north corner. You're basically looking for all those four corners. As far as what teams go where, basically, spread it out street by street, east to west, and then we might send one team direct north to cross that northern bridge and defend from that kind of offset town area on the north side of the river ford. All right, any questions?